nyamesum enye solo. Said you would you need somebody. A fellowship. Ye na ye hu ye di ye hu komo, ye say ye hu brane. Na me nka huna ba eye no kwen so say minim say onyame asem ye no kwen ti no akwanya ye wa ye hie mu say no, it will not be forever. It will not be forever. Enti bra ye nye ndu sabre no moma ye take advantage of say ye nyina ye hie mu na ye nyina ye so abomu no. Enti onyame mwa ye nsa enra ye mududu wa se na twi ba line so anwumre no. Why na enra ne neji ye pa wo de ote no. Why na wenya opere se fi ne kwe no de ote enra na obe bibisa. Moma yen kan mi hye nyame no nyame. Adofnom, now is the time to share. If not now, when? Now if not you, who? Meaning to me and the Kenyam sem enchide wo supervisor oni ni yedwumada. Minimuno. But every want to mean for Bible enye way kase enye way. Just give the person the book. Mini anom ye betumi aye o. Ye betumi aye. Mama yenkai say yes to ba. Now this is true story. Or see akwabi catch Jesus say Ewade wonim say mentumi nya Bible studies. Mentumi ntonyo, mentumi nya we say. Eje Ewade na mfa me talent anya hwe. Or see there be enye no kwe. Wonim say ukọ dental appointment no. Ukọ ho dentist no. Ukọ obebi a dentist no wona ye obebi a friend say waiting area na meboa. Unkọ na books bebre de ba de. Egu ho o de first steps to Christ na koja no ho neko. Obi a wabedi lies wo a all train no. Ote hwa na ne ho keka na onya hwenya. The Spirit of God will move on their heart. He said, "Me kofa boku na menhwe." I don't know, is this something we cannot do? Me ko hu me doctor appointment, me di book ato honom, me di bia she me bag. Enti adofo no, ye nyina ye ntumi mfa Bible entie mu nkase sei. Ye nyina ye ntumi ebia enko hospital. Ye nyina ye ntumi enko prisons. But there is something you can do. Enunti no onyame enhira ye se ebe ni sa. Menum se ebra ye enhihye yahodo yi no. Ye nyina no ye di bebubu na ye hu be bia ye betumi. Adofo, we have a little window of opportunity. Now I can't overemphasize ye wo akwenya kakra bi. So kind great controversy or say omaya ye wo mi a eye America no ebedu brebi no religious freedom etu obetwa wunya akwenya se wo som ana wunya akwenya se wo especially for ye ne memenda kwanhwefo. Now ye wo brebi a ye beye de wo say ya it is today. So wo follow niema ekoswa. Since 1787 na ye convention of states our might na ho kabo mu a wo mo ye constitution ni we say nyina no in the 1800s na any 1900s na no ebi mbada right now right ye timu no wo mo say on pese sanso ye convention of state bi na sa convention of state in the church say they want to look at the constitution again, make amendments and rewrite the constitution. And some of them have started agitation. Oman yimono basa basa na eba ha say no. E brebi etwe mono na ye womra se blue laws a etumi kase ye wo se ye makwan na kosiada de obi anje bia ye na kwasore na ye nyina ye tumi ye di adwin kosi nyame so na aban be musa basa basa kosoro ni we ni nyina no etuo be kofom. And people have started agitating for Sanyama we say as we speak, best 17 states and on my ready say almost person almost joining the cause say yes our convention of states na yen take another look at the constitution na yen trobium. They need 34 states but now they have 17 and it is moving on. I don't know, the handwritings are on the wall. We don't have to wait till say a budget too late. And untino many say onyamima ye wo akwenya na ye nibeji say ebra ye wo akwenya yi no we will share the ye nimbia ma for front wate ye ben sa mu yenka mi nyame enu nyame enda no pay Ye chua ya this one so. Also, see, we need to know God. Say the we can share him. And we are talking about unyame ne covenant relationship. And last week I said before you say I do, and an open to be a key to a successful marriage. The person may get a boy baku ekum enomam, you know. May about the covenant relationship between God and his people on one level. But on another level, no, it is onyame covenant relationship, no, and our model our it's on another level, so Mesa Kawaria was him. And you know the key to a relationship, covenantal relationship with God. And now the another level so kwanya yebefa so yenian kasano yawaria wonyame diama yeno ebetumi aye inshira said you wonya say yeno entiano pay yebesa ko Deuteronomy na yakwa akohwe said ye yenua no kan ma ye in a beautiful way no na answer na no spiritual ne mompaye Yehuwa yeda wase anope ya kwenya odiama yen simesini bia yenya no wonim bia no eye nhyira enti anope yempa ebone ade sigade say may you allow your word to speak to our hearts said yebeya we will understand the nature of your love and the nature of the covenant relationship our ne mawo ewo Yesu de monti amen nyamebwa next week yebeye stewardship weekend a part of now is the time no Obibeka said, what is the relationship between knowing God and stewardship? Well, or say, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your strength. Your strength, is your might, and your might, it is part of loving God. Next week, we can no yebehwe sa dimension no adofonom se ye wo brebia e wo se ye di ye sika ne ye japade ye nyame adwuma eyende. And now we heard wonderful testimonies. Obi say, I don't wait for the church to order books. Miami order steps to Christ. Now me order steps to Christ na machiche. Miami order great controversy. Adofonom, let us invest in the work of God. This is the time to do it. If we say ya nya nda e tuna yen tumi nya na. There is a principle. You can never outgive God. Untumi embroso than the nyame de bemada. Unyami pesi oshraye. Obia we selfish bian unyami shra. If we say God gives in order to be given, and to obia unyami jemawa unyami nim say what the mawa what the mano. Ubo say God always opens avenues. Sikani to unsema no wachiche ube wansa sikaba ko nyame nim so ma sikafa unsema eye nhyira by when nyame di kakra ma na tena so adofo nyame nhyira o na de bia no na kakra bi na fa unsem enti no ye japade nyina no eye part of stewardship anope is God worthy of our love 2 weeks ago you will say yes God is worthy of our love onyame enti se onipado. Let us understand, say there are differences between Onipado and Onyamedo as we look at covenant, any day you can. Nigeria so for be engineering or England or call back to Nigeria. Now, or can me about our the person added to Onyamedian was we look at today's addition. Or say to marry for beauty or handsomeness is like buying a house because of the paint. Osi so koware na so si oba no na frumu tokro e na wo ko hwe na dia ware a enti se dia wo koto dan a wo si paint na dia paint ho no e na wo hwe dia to paint no insuo beto ewia bebo it will be washed away and then yetimu no ye very busy says structural components structural components the kuta dan eno ne beams a uhu beams ya uhu ya kesi eno na weni na eguso na wo se dan no hwe kakra bia na ase bebi yi ne ho sa ne ma yi ne ho na no eno na ye the structural component of that ne ma hyehyɛ mu a ekuta dan ni nyina the strength of this building no is based on these structural components no adofnum enye paint ya paint the house now see unfortunately Nipa bebre yedi anwofe ene awa ayi sa external things no ena yedi ware. To the bimpa yenhwe baby and nipa ko free bani who the person is. Now see, we Angelina, now ko ware Develina. Make sure say your in-law will come and visit you. Na so in-law so be visit wa on to me nkasa wo mane mma. Ti wobonsam ene wonyame ba say ye be ka bomu aware mu a, it is going to breed problem in the future. Ye waware bebre the way e si hyase no, ye ne ya ware die. Say what simple beba wona o chusu ye. Won to me mpamo wase. Say me ko ware Develina. Ena menene tia ana papali na oye Develina. Masi baba besrabe. Ejinyame. But the good thing is say yeni ya ware no. Onyankopon owo tumi. Even baby God is able to turn the tables around. So yem fum so to anamo yem fum so a. Na so wodi ba ho so say Awurade bi to anamo bi. Na be gidi say issues bi a minya o ma worry mu. Probably because see ye mi to bi anye ya. Adofro ma wa bemumbu. Don't run away from it. Nyame so chawa go. By bompaye na sire wonyame. Na wonyame be kire wo kwan. Wonyame be bie kwan ama. God is able to turn us. By yenya yenya ware no dia adofo. It is something that we need to pause and really consider. And we say, our rear, a yadia, pon some any kunye. Now, what twisted the beginning now, one we are, Ubebrepa, Wawaremo, and Sana, Ebimpa, Unyame Bejumpa, heaven a year con him say, Bible say, narrow choices are you making can is that make Yesu Okono easier and now say difficult. Now one of the things the bet mama will have him call aya dimpa aya ware. And you know it is very good say you making choices unyami ebetumi eshasto. And in Exodus ebiana prior to last week you know over 10 commandments it say unyami say do's don'ts any side is important but it is a wedding vows. Osi Israel me don tina me be fall free Misraim no ma hye watade ma ye okama me pese me dedicate me ho de ma now so dedicate me ho de ma are you ready and yes obeye sadia and let's make a covenant and it is like a wedding vow. Now when Yami ebusa Israel said can you marry me, the reason tia oka say can you marry me is say I say I am a jealous God. When Yami jealous you know jealousy in terms of exclusiveness. Or say me exclusive God. Michri enia nine ana enia mon. Whatever it is, michri enia nine. Enutimin kwana you say in a jealous relationship, no, there is the lover, the beloved, the rival, and infidelity, and an emotional response to the infidelity. I don't say when you mean dowa, said the medical say when you mean doye. Now when you mean kuye ho, now the deeper God loves us, no, the more jealous God is for our affections. Say the more I would do be now do a kumenina sheni no, the more no and I will guard the affections person another person ebebamu. Et woman can say when you mean doye no translates into his jealousy say. Or person yedi yakume nyina yedi yadwi nyina edo wonu onyame or no onyame no na anopei me person ye read book Deuteronomy me near another dimension. Until last week no the Samuel ni say or say I am a jealous God. Now so onyame edi we amayen up front say can you marry me? But wait me worry me dia me person who ahead of time say me a jealous God mean to me in your nine mean to me in your ho ube to me adome. Okay, say yes, I will say okay, then we can enter into a covenantal relationship. Fast forward 40 years later, now they are, this is in Sinai. In Sinai, no, the third month of free Egypt, you know, and no do Sinai. And now when you mean no wedding, no. Israel focus the Nyamia Kenyano, Yati, Yabeye, God, we will be married to you. 40 years later, no, they are standing on the border of the promised land. And now Moses he said, now no, we need to renew the marriage vows. We need to renew the covenant relationship. Now, interesting say, we see Moses in a wrong way. Oftentimes, who Moses is or your lawgiver. But when you read Deuteronomy in chapter 33, verse 1, Moses is the man of God. Okay, in chapter 34, verse 5, Moses is a servant of God. Okay, in chapter 34, verse 10, Moses or a prophet of God. As a matter of fact, in Deuteronomy, the Moses or a lawgiver. Moses is talking like an experienced pastor of the people of Israel. Or no Bible free sin anymore, or reminding Israel of the in terms of Unyame covenant. And then your friend Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy no a Greek. I just said second law. Deutero and the Nomos second and law. Na a Greek title la womodi beto book ni so. In the Hebrew, no, your friend differently. These words had the varim. These are the words. And you know, a many people ayo madrin say Deuteronomy, a yadia, a yewenyame, emrianuna. Yes, it is more than that. In fact, so read here, it is like a sermon. And there is one long sermon, another long sermon, the third long sermon, the final sermon, no, Moses, Edima, Israel for no, calling them to faithfulness. To catch them will say, Mukai se munam eskesuno, unyame swam se okodie. Or say, as the eagle said your cordia too, now a cordia ebona tabemu, now funny young ones this in taban, so said your baby or be protect you more. Now don't make great height, you know, sana when your means why yemo, and Timun Kaido when your mayemo, or Simunim doing your media Sihon, Unim doing your media Gihon, any Amorites, and Tidio when your Yamunino, Mumbrana young renew your covenant with God, the marriage covenant with God. And this is a call to renew covenant with God, love. Na enuna Moses eberieno all ma a summary of the covenant. Enemy, we're going to stay in Deuteronomy. Key to a successful marriage. And if God is jealous, the marriage between God and humanity, what is the key? Enuna Moses ebeka hon asemi. It will came in 16 Oshaswa say, see, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. And with the owo and enkwa, papa ninyina midye suwenim. Remember, say, God made us as moral beings. We have to choose to be in a covenant relationship with God. Said you would choose to say, Ababa we na me wareno, and a branch we na me wareno. Relationship with God cannot be forced. Relationship with God is based upon making choices because we know who God is. Ye who said you when you miss it here. It was it and midi owo any enkwa eswenim na me shall say. Make a choice. And from very soon, Jesus is coming. We are standing on the border of the promised land. Now, when Yami say, what the new heaven to come, relationship with God, the protection of God, the love of God, the forgiveness of God, the providence of God. When Yamia to yenina yemuye, when Yamia waboni timu pose, when now don't know, I didn't when Yamia was saying, was Sashi not a kitwabimpa, a yeno a bayakase, when Yamia was saying, Jumpo when it was said, ye cast a better the fair, but any penny is as for our Babuemo, Nanso one now what they want who to Yamesono, said ye Tibiano, a Bessie one year, David said, mark the upright man. The end of that person is peace. Nipakwano or how on Nemunano for Obia what didn't want to Yamesono. Oh, for a dear saying the Bubuano, not me who be growing up in a society. Be Jidi said, Maybe dear, Nanka ye Kabuswebia, Yabeka said Dache, Ebia when Yame bet to me, Yame bet to me Eshira, and then Yame bet to me, Edin any Esi one so, Yame Edin and Sato one so, Mibabus Yadia, looking at Bantemwa Nayatino, Nayan Kao, every say. Me papa. Yam Pammy school fees that by the set I was a woman who sent the corn in our tete. Nimpobwa. The Biam Pobuano, we are not I say Kaka. Na aye, Nanya Maye, we say, Kofo Yejuma, Ejisica, and his handy Badinani, we say, but I don't know the person the catcher say, Mark an upright man. Mark will be what didn't want to win your meso. For when you coach, Papa be a mammy be a no swan yame, and ask and assassin, the baby, ask your baby quiet, not missing there. When your mean catch was a mark the upright man. The end of that person is peace. It when you say, no me just with him. Say choose life. I said before this day. Now I know now in verse 16 or say in that I command thee. May shall say this is a command with a choice. May I command thee to love the Lord thy God. And you won't say in all these instances Onyame kase yemfa yakube nyina endono yemfa yadu nyina endono. That is the basis of the relationship. To love God with all our hearts, our mind and soul. And onyame Moses ha repeat here say number one thing is say odi wakume nyina wadu nyina na ene wa nyina afado onyame na okase and walk in his ways and keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thy may live and multiply. Now, Deuteronomy, the phrase is said, love the Lord thy God, in Old Testament, Deuteronomy, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Joshua, the only place I just said, love the Lord your God, 6 times in the Old Testament, and in all these occurrences, and only in Deuteronomy, to emphasize and say the covenant, is based upon loving God. And you go to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5 now. In the Shema, hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart. Chapter 11, verse 1 now. Or say, therefore thou shalt love the Lord thy God. Deuteronomy 19:9. Love the Lord thy God. 30, verse 6. Love the Lord thy God. 30:16. Love the Lord thy God. 30:20. Love the Lord thy God. And the New Testament is so epic 3 times. Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Love the Lord thy God. And Moses said, Minianom, when yame epese wanemo tinasi ewo domo. Onyame dodie, there is no question about God's love. He has already demonstrated his love. Jakanie, the human response. Say ye bedo onyame, wajakuma ene yadwi nyina. Na Moses eka say yendo ewrade no. Eno ka say, how do we love God? When Yamin Pese believe how we love him, not to speculation. To say to love God means to walk in his ways. I am not going to walk in my ways. Or I will walk in his ways. I will walk in his ways. And he said, I will keep his commandments. In fact, Jesus Christ can say, if you love me, you keep my commandments. I will keep wonyame na shedie onyame mbra ene sa ne mani nyina. Obi a wo si wo do onyame, but you don't walk in his ways, you are lying. It is not true. It is a lie. You can't love God and walk in your own ways. You can't love God and then do enyema enshe wonyame enimonyam. It will say, love the Lord your God with all your heart and keep his commandments and walk in his ways. Now Israel, they were funny. They were funny. And we are funny because what him say to the beer. Now Moses cast us no. Because to the beer, they know what God wants them to do, but still they comfort themselves and say, I will walk in my own ways, and I still expect to say, God will bless it. And in trying to say this, no, Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 19, Moses, not all can say, will be on man, and say, Media, I will walk in my own way. But at the same time, also no, menu nyamia warrior no, ebekoye pa. And Moses can say in Deuteronomy 29 and say, so it may not happen, Shena and Sida, when he hears the words of this curse. Also, can catch Deuteronomy 28 banana. Or say, so when yame none covenant or the best or no nonsense, or say, wo obeye obi no me beba so was what the idea chef for my enye we yes ya enti no me bebre and Moses say obi a ochie sa in no me semi no onye careful say or tisa in no me samna that he blesses himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace even though I follow the dictates of my heart. And you can say when no one can say na ti de wonyame ka no ene wonyame covenant no na man yira ho se me de me fa me kwan so, but I will have peace. Also wo kasa say it is say as though the drunkard could be included with the sober. It is say obi a wo kasa mabro ana me mre de wabro ene de wo mre mu nyamo ye pe. Moses said it is never true. And to love the Lord our God is to walk in his way, not in our own way. It is very interesting. Na otwaswa ebra wonyame ekasa no ena wonyame ebeka say there is a threat to the covenant. Bibi honma eye threat. Yakase bibi a threat. Ewo potential say ebetuma be say bibi. Ebia ma menche musa adia umma ho kwan ana enya kwan ebetuma say bibi. It is a threat. And wonyame say there is a threat. And you can 17 you're just gonna go through the passage, you know. 17 wonyame eka one threat. Na eno eya dia adofodom, it is not only a threat to our covenant relationship with God, and yet also a threat to our covenant relationship with our wives and our husbands, to our rear. Onyame die any departie. Now I will spend some time and then talk about it. Also, when Jamaica said, love the Lord your God with all your heart. Bible mono or tie you to the heart in biblical psychology. I don't know why. By heart, you know, it encompasses the will and then emotions and affections. As a dinner kabum, what think your emotions and your affections and it's and when you say emotions a woman, you what think winya woman, certain canin pono, fadome, certain canin pono, mananya God what, certain canin pono, mananya atinka, a year about mimi onyankopon, the emotions and the affections. Na enu na 17 na onyame say, but if your heart turns away, and the threat to the covenant relationship with God, no, it begins from the heart. It begins from the heart. Now I was trying to read some secular psychologists, neuro, na me who doctor be a friend Kenneth Paul Rosenberg. Your medical doctor. Na ni book na watch no assemble na all kind woman say. Or in truth, affairs usually involve spending less time with an actual real live human and more time with the person we have conjured up from our yearnings, our hopes, our fantasies and fears, and from what psychiatrists call our internal representations of another. Or say, you can say will be fair, and now will be a relationship. Or say ya na bibisa. Or say, and yes, sir, who more time by one need Sani Pakwan in the years I don't spend it. But the woman partner said, we have created an image in our mind. Now, sa image that you create our dream, and ye idealizes our image, no, and we feed into some fantasies, no, and we fantasize that person. We what the person is not by glorifying. My more example, there is this young woman who are worried for 20 years, Laura. So they be kind of media Bobaba could be coming no you know. When you made the party. Laura, I worry, you a medical doctor. Why baby a koso kama. Omwa nikunu no hwa wo no, they love him. Oh, Doctor Wade, or you sweet. Doctor Wade, the human so koso. And na yewo Laura obi a ye dwuma e wo elevator mu e wo baby a wo mote. And na wo sha ase or fantasizes sandi bakro akwe de said the Moses CTA and he said the CTA into wo sha ase no na dwini mu no nikunu no adie bia na ye papa o nikunu ho no na dwi mu no ni nyina te rai na dwi mu ti nikunu fu adwuma ba de o kaya ne se e na o sent wo ho e na wunware e na sei at the same time no na wo hu nipa ko ye adwuma wo ne betem no se nipa we die the way ya o si tie the way ya say o si kasa the way o si say it will create some image no enye se be manage that wa e na o yesa Bema na be elevated you ma wokono na in her mind you know what creating Sargena she is fantasizing and she is living with that representation of the dream and in that dream and na afa na adwene and na achi na adwene and na efra nani to see the good in the husband and na the ohua eyesa papaya or be adwuma wo elevate we till say at the end of the day no they had to have an affair. But the psychiatrist in the doctor for can say affairs are actually built not in the bedroom but in the head. Affairs, my family kunechi, my family rechi, it is built in the heart and in the head. Akumemu, agrimu, send the weight here and the weight here. Sana, na wabeye an angel. Now this person has angel. Their meningitis is here there or your demon because or you say we fantasize and we do something. Now when you mean he is very wise. When you mean he is very wise. Fantasy are a inflamu. Sir ideas. Now me read another person. Now one also Eka desire another medical doctor. I think say the same medical doctor. And now I say even say a kase in the mua. In the Mukwampa, how long would a bear money or bad die? The actual in Nassau Badi Bema Dano, and yet, but yes, so bimo, Emma will be to me a yes, so hooked. Yes, so bimo, Emma will be a winning nano, a the mind. Ageno is fantasizing, and we do things to inflame the fantasies. Maybe a text message. It is text message no ukanya who do remember no kofanwa no wakanya it is you are adding flames and you wakuma na eda womono akomano is set on fire and you are feeding on things feeding sa last na womono enunti na wonyame say Israel for baby infidelity shas here and yet the bedroom it is the heart it munhwe ye number kuma antene anshas yanko fantasizing. If there is a place to gather, I can tell you, say, so wouldn't say what worry a china any deako, yennyame, tienum dachi, by any thing. I don't will be out in there, maybe you know the state of your heart because you know where your heart is. Wouldn't you can't wait to receive Nicole. You know that. You can't wait to see the person. You know that. A indicator of baby wakumano. Now I heard the chassis. To Nyame say, if there is baby a was a ye de barrier neto, na ye guardia, it is the heart. I say, guard your heart. You cannot afford to give your heart away. It was a Israel for Munche ye na makuma andane. Now, as we talk about Sadia, no, tell them you have 2 levels. No, who can Proverbs chapter 6? The wisest person who ever lived, oh yes, Solomon. Solomon, so now when him Sadia we say, pa, hey, Makwe Juma, and now on man, oh, can we have lunch today? And yeah, baby, first, of course, pa, but I could you because you see the whole person. The 20 being swa, Sadia wait, Tiba swa. Ipakron in the nim to said dear grandpa or your Queen of Sheba. And a bearman on the nim to said dear because now we need no frana a fair no equanimwana a bubie na a drega now we need be. Papa because I'll say yes, here the blind love is blind. To Kawaria, no, we need free, we need to same. Love is blind. And I'll say in the queer pastor, love is blinder. And the number 1 doctor or tumor will need to pay your warrior. Or who are you now? Who do you win now? When you better by force, then you will see what you got. When the emotions and those things, no away. And you know, Proverbs chapter 6. Minion way your foot or the my yenina. Guard your heart. Shewakuma ye, shewa affections ye, or whatever will be a one in it's not phone. So chair, Eddie Commodore should be your married partner. And your bana, Bema, one no, a ye, Toya Warini, no one in car or in comma, when in car who couldn't come. Now will be a external person. So above for now, Bema for one now to be in the come out here and to me esre and you're comfortable to be candy over kumema. Madam, for you are treading on a dangerous ground. It should not be. You are treading on a dangerous ground. I didn't think I will put a Juma over time. I didn't think I will best of the coffee. Now, Pastor, what's many times account. What is the reason? I didn't know. Calls to be a honor and then come be on more or you are now receive sound commoner. What is going on? I know there are exceptions. I'm not talking about those exceptions. You know, the Jamaican wants them. The American say, guard your heart. We never fall into this. We crawl and we walk into this. Because the day your heart starts turning, when you're honest to yourself, you can see that there is something wrong in your affections. Either for your wife or for the external person. Look at Proverbs chapter 6 now. Okay, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp and the law a light. Reproofs of instruction are the way of life. To keep you from the evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a seductress. Now 25, of course, evil woman can be an evil woman or an evil man. It goes both ways. 25 says, do not lust after her beauty in your heart. Interesting. Do not lust after her beauty in your heart. Guard your heart. And don't you know when you mean a command cramp a day, or did in Casafa Hono? And I'm yes, he was 10 to Mana Bibia and Casea, and what has say, and don't you know when you mean, and she said you when you mean, or say Yawakumasa. Guard your heart. Hunu in Koma or Betmedi, Hunu in Koma won't to Mindy. So Yabu Babu, hands off. Yeah, no Yabo or Bama worry for Nim Ben Nim Pabro. Yabon now suddenly come near you will say, Adolfo, keep your hands off. Now, why you for anyway say Manicum Cantrano? Because and yet a day it builds up gradually. And yet that could now sorry yet. And our banner untin who jino, Bemana untin who jino, a bow will say untin marini beam. And yet that could pay a building. Bible say, guard your heart. Shawakuma ye. To when you say Israel for covenant fidelity, Jemunsha Makuma ye, Namo Mama Makuma Anane. Na I call this the anatomy of infidelity. The first one is the heart. Now to us what Deuteronomy 17 now. Now can the second level now say, but if your heart turns away, so that thou will not hear. This is very important. So wakuma dania, the second stage, they said, now was waiting. It when the emotions are, it was a woody emotions, no AC when you so what warrior, it was a see or spouses, no, or see, say, quine as a emotions, no, Esha says, dania, was it the next thing they said, was soon and so end, at this stage, you know, and yet wakumankwa asone so bem. Who can be bia want it? You can be bia want it. If we say akumano asono any aswentiatano, it is now following the direction of the heart. Guard your heart so that thou will not hear. Who can be bia? Now can you Proverbs chapter 7 or see me one branch here be a waiting to our baby. Will be a shiana, baby a wuko inyo, baby a wuko no say, Nipa baby a fasa kwanusu, sheye, na one mouth fasa kwanus no, they did not return. Was like I said, sheye, and you won't give baby. If we say, a real teacher, a who do baby a fa kwaniswa, they never turn. But said the Bible cannot, or see, we see to an Yamian one as soon as I debate. You see, he said something. Something, Tiasin, none and year fra. A brother to do something na spiritual in any beer. But none of physical eye, no, is gone. Physical stage on TBBA, OKBBA one day. Now, or twaswa, or said, but shall be drawn away. Two step, no. A shall say, the first step to infidelity. Say, when you may, ye money free when you may home, and I ye money free your crew, and I ye home. The first step, no, and yet visible. The first step is not visible. You cannot see the first step. It is something that goes on in the heart. In the heart. Now, if one mumpire and say, now it was one theory, it becomes physical. It becomes manifested physically. Be drawn away. It is becoming, he said, many abayua way in the shower, many a branch way in the shower. I don't know, and some end stage, you know, not there is a long process that occurs in the heart. Or just our baby, sebi. Ebia na adwia say. And now just a baby bia na adwia say. And I was me shia will be dako, na me shia ne na me nada. Be a prostitute. I'm talking about children of God. There is a long preparatory. Say yakuma da baby. I don't know. This is the time to ask God to say, when yamin fanche na create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit in my mind. If we say process now shall see you know. Bible says no mponya bibebu ya tenwo. Because if our kuma ne wadwin na dome na die na uye. Ehefa na adwen no enenam. Our kuma nyina ene wadwin nyina fa do ewurade wonyankopon. Na wonim say eno na ato aso a na akodu worship. You can worship. Worship is very broad. Worship a broad pa dance. Me koko to honi. Enti me mama kuma no ko. Na fide o kan bia mente na me ye drawn away. The third thing is say or say and worship other gods. What do I mean in this context? Enuntina generation you woman know we worship sex. Eros. Tiemfa on say ma wari begu me ma enho be kiri wo mo bi kunu ho be kiri wo mo me re ho be kiri wo mo there be wonyame afre me I must respond because me din kan de makoma ama no e na me de ma adwama no I don't really care. I have enthroned somebody as Hanipakrono, Wano, and now Sumbo in any way. And I have to respond to the person. Nyami says, therefore, some of you in Martina, and related to sexual inquiry. A bit yes, Sika, or say, you cannot serve God and mammon. A bit ye nimonyam. Now, Sikani and nimonyam pe e kabomwa. Adofrom, it is very dangerous. Israel for Omuboni Bakomo Yene say, Onyami Kachramo say, you are letting your children pass through the fire to Molech. Modemomba ama Molech. Said Yebeya, Modiomba for Yama Molech. When Yame say, I hate that. And then so no when Yamemba. We are giving our children to Molech in a different way. What do I mean? If we say I need to complete this building, if we say I need to finish this, and TV, any iPad, any computer, and then you may a free the bottom hell of Satan. And to me person me project, the person me say by me I have sacrificed them to Molech. Molech. May double. Yes. And to me, quite you men corona Granada, membrano, not Granada, and to the be 3 days. Let me walk on him. Name ba Aquano. Why in the air sacrifice? No, we don't have to have a physical idol. If we say you me pina, the person me see that be, the person me be, and to me sacrifice him on the altar of Molech. Ye na yakuma and gani anko pursue and niema a yet detrimental. Now who some say to the beer winning na see dining in no. Now bananya be 18 years no. Anka you wish to say in Casa Brady, me banning betting now you didn't come on the banning bay we say no friend now. On Fakra. Friend to us me and test tobacco. I said, we'll catch us off with a more home pie. I come to have more. I continue with you. Because, a crown 18 years now, or computer game, and you don't understand. 18 years now, the whole young TV center, you don't understand. You sacrifice the child to these gods, and now the heart of the child is now intertwined with these gods. And you play no role in the life. If we say that you hear pie, say, but you have lost your child. You have lost your child. I can tell you, say, when we call who say my mom I would lose this battle. 5 years, 7 years. You have most you by 5 years, 7 years, you can see, say, the one mom pay pan screnyamia, I was some crumbs say you want, or munino, a bayer pop. And when Yami said, be careful. Now, no, 18 now the 18 that was so. I denounce unto you this day. Says, son, now be dear. Now, say, Obama, Kuma, Kodi, baby, dear. You will perish. Oh, Nyame, Indians of war. Nyame, Indians of war. When Nyame demand the idea back up, and society no be beer won't be. It's a balanced diet. It's all be a coffee cookie be as a way of balance. When Nyame swap our command, if we say so, when you're commanding now, why the body? And to bon someone so no wakuma and open Hakumano. Once Obenya Kumano, Yakanina, he's lost it. To what was easier for some years, me, but my comment said, be a jealous God. Mean to me, and the Montina, you will perish. So, Israel for Abakwasema 722, Israel for Yamima, the 10 tribes of Israel. Up till now, if we said they broke this covenant, and now the interesting Yamika found was say, be careful, said the Beya, your heart will not be drawn away by the God gods of the people around you. The gods of the people around you. One more sorry, or your 80s, but was whom baby. Sorry, or your 80s, but baby onuma a sumbo mana of value pa was soon baby. Now was it sa for moka emotional. Yanke ye na yakuma aon kodi and yema one more kuma akodi a chenimbi. Yakuma kodi Sademanechia eventually is going to be a disaster. And you know, okay, what's it? 19 no. And all this or the can say, choose you this day. May mouth choice. Your best no. I don't mean all these things when you may or my choice. Your society, this society has created a culture of victimhood. Culture of victimhood. To be a victim. True. Mejidi say ye wonkophobia truly no omo ye victims of some circumstances. But even then, we have choices even in our victimhood. By this society in general, obia a victim. Obia a victim. Enti bibia ya nyawa e papa na mama e we na ye. Did obi e bia no is somebody's fault. Obi e bia is somebody's fault na. And a Russell ne nyumya otroye about psychiatry, psychotherapy, and it's na ubia ye bibia na ye say you be fault no. Na nyumna otroye no say psychiatric folk song. Na nyumna say I went to my psychiatrist to be psychoanalyzed to find out why I killed the cat and blacked my husband's eye. Because psychiatry was a mudentia, you couldn't walk around. Nami born me couldn't any bro man and in or see, he laid me on a downy couch to see what he could find. And here's what he dredged out from my subconscious mind. And what they was say, now, what year for between the yes, sir. The when I was one, my mommy hid my dolly in a trunk. And so it follows naturally that I am always drunk. When I was 2, I saw my father kiss the maid one day. And that is why I suffer from kleptomaniac. At 3, I had a feeling of ambivalence towards my brothers. And so it follows naturally I poisoned all my lovers. But I am happy now. I have learned the lessons this has taught. Everything I do that's wrong is somebody else's fault. There may be a will be fault. When you may say, choose ye this day whom you will serve. Either the gods of the Amorites or the gods of the Moabites and the Saphorina. Now, dear, you have a choice. You have a choice. We have a choice. What is that choice? Getting to my last point. You didn't care we say to love the Lord your God, no. But there is one word in the last verse, no, or they captured in how do I love God? Especially, it will be a real say, you use one word. One word, no, say, cleave. 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 Famono ding. Cleave. The first time I word cleave no ever Bible mo, Genesis chapter 2. Adam any if when yami ebo one wakofa one by ya when yami cast a mobile wari for no. Or say for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and shall cleave entino o nyami fem any nipa fem no o nyami warrior any ne worry any nipa de no. The first thing is that we have to leave. We have to leave certain things. If we don't leave certain things, we cannot be married to God. And the last week, it's when I say all the gods of this world must be left behind. All the ways of man must be left behind. All the cultural things must be left behind. If we don't live and hold on to those things, we cannot get to the next level where the marriage really happens, where we live. Sound of physical marriage is yet. We cannot, our baby no more. It is 20 years now, but it is not really merging well because we said, and sana yebe ware no enema bi honoma they must another ka was say ye January by ye diaba ware anymore until we leave certain things we cannot live in marriage. Meanwhile, you know, selfishness. Meanwhile, na me bank account. And my bank account, meanwhile, na me spend it. If you don't leave it behind, now you have a 40 years by any year. Leave certain things behind. Or you X, or you Y, or you Z. And I'm nominated. If you want to continue with your ex, don't marry. If you want to still stay with the memories of your ex, don't marry. But if you want to marry, leave those things behind. If you can leave those things behind, that you cannot live in marriage. As you say, let me papa mpaboa ho de me hu kakra. Kotole da no fresh, be twitwa ni na market. Ono de shoe no ye no. Wo ye bibia from the scratch because kotole da no. Na wa market mpaboa ne pattern ni nyina. We are no twitwa kama na de wo so wo ye ni nyina to we are sandals mpaboa comfort ni hwan bia wo ne din na bu ha nkofo betu anyway say. Na one thing na me hu ni say wo twa mpaboa na se oba be so a ye wa machine bi a etwa ne ho say ye to de mpaboa no eya na efefe ni mu no enti obefefa fefe ni mu nyina na ade bia wo ho bia kọ na fefe ni mu nyina owia na ye de glue waye o de glue aye owia no wakabom de nti omo ye saa ne am scrape ni nyina ne se so one scrape saa ne am ni nyina free once and how the glue ni ya wo de ya enso ye ya ware bebre things that we ought to have left behind, they are still in it. And a prayer, leave them behind. Or say we have to leave before we cleave. Nasa cleave no. Eye wodba. Yawo tekno. Na first year for ba. Obia ye introduction. Say bia fra me kwame so be si me free. Ambokoma sorry na me buy na me free techima na me free. 2 years na waka be free na waka say your marital status. Say bia I am married and I say I am not married and I am available. And I say I am not married, I am unavailable. And it's they are having fun. Now remember this sister. This is the year or doing it so or born it and I say I am indefatigably attached. God wants us to be attached to him. On a meaning distance relationship. And the last word they say, on a say, I require intimacy with you, my daughter, my son. I want you to come closer. I want you to come closer. I am not just interested in what happens on Sabbath. I am not just interested. Your life is too distant from me. A woman so we are devotion. But I want to be where your life really takes place. What you memo or matitemu bibia me person me ben wo me person woni me din komo me person woni me kan dia e koso bia e wo waware mu wasitire mu wo mbatitire mu me person obey your heart to me. If we said relationship involves vulnerabilities near said who open your heart na what can dia e koso pa che nipa ko no na wo te wase na who you are. That is the level when Yami said, I want to enter. The person may know Yajokofobia, a more deeper where things really happen. Wouldn't be deemed commodity cliff. South Cliff Unana, a branch Dina, Jacob Baba, who Dina no, was in a Kuma, what yet, what teacher cry. And Untino Kachel Papa said, who Dina. Simeon in the said, young fat dined them out. By Bible say the heart of a branch who dined was it clave to abide one in love. Say, okay, Papa said, you see, remember what Chrome has said, now the uncircumcised will be a Mukoye. Maba Washington said, who about you are say. And now will be a con baby, or be free Washington, who will be a baby. Na the Pacrono Casse. So Washington for Baba Warimo, dear, and the Moko country men's ministries in member of Washington. I said, Yanko be a creature. Picture no. Clive, famino the day, when you're missing young famino, Onyame say that's the year me and the next principle and the beginning. So when Onyame say you get closer to him. There were emotional distances. Onyame said, I don't want any emotional distance in my relationship with you. I want you to come closer. Tell me your feelings. Tell me your heart. Yendin komo. I will guide you. I will direct you. But yendin komo. Eni nyame nkasa. Etode biya yempai bompono. I am so mechanical because we are serving God from a distance. Nyame said, on distance relationship. Or per se bend in everything. Should there be a physical distance, social distance, the question we will say, how do we develop intimate relationship? And yet then I mean will be to be a relationship. Relationship not what dear say. Just a man tuning can cry mean to me. Well, number one, a proximity. I don't know. Because when him say there is something I can't put into words as to know him so much. Say, Obi Honma will say, Rade. I'm not trying to be facetious and as I'm mechanical, but there is a relationship. You say, that is what he was. Come down close. Come down close. Now, my last year, I did try to know brain chino. Him say, "Oh, kind steps to Christ, sir. What I'm doing now,